Rob Liefeld has been on a warpath against Marvel Comics for quite a while, and now he's calling for people to be fired and called the X-Men office a train wreck, which is exactly what I've known for a bit here. This is pretty interesting as he talks about this, and we'll get into this news in just a moment, so please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in comics, especially when it comes to what's going on in the mainstream as well. They're doing dirty for a long, long time, not just by fans, but by professionals on every single level, and that's exactly why we call things out and are building our own as well. We are making a wonderful alternative in the independent space where we've been coming out with graphic novel after graphic novel that people have really enjoyed. Now, a lot of YouTubers out there have tried to hide us because we've been the real deal while they've, kind of floundered out there in what they've promised and not delivered to you. While we've been quietly just building and building and building and building, they've been, attacking other YouTube creators out there over and over and over again. And it's been sad to watch, but we need this right now because Marvel and DC really have lost their ways. They're not coming back, guys. They're giant corporations that are soulless. They are preserving these IPs for movies. They don't really care about the comics whatsoever. And it's been that way for a long, long time. Indies is where it's at. So guys, hit the like and subscribe button. And of course, sign up for my newsletter. This is the way that you stay in touch with me. I've got 9 graphic novels in development, got superheroes, I've got fantasy, science fiction. I'm doing a little of everything because the comic industry, it didn't used to just be superheroes and Marvel and that's it. Like, it used to be a lot more than that. And so that's why I've been doing different genres as well, making sure that we build a breadth, to make a sustainable industry. It's a lot of fun, and we have some of the best books in the industry as well. So $50 value, absolutely free. You sign up for my newsletter, you get 3 free books, and I appreciate you all for reading and being here. Thank you so much, guys. This is the spot to be, and I've got 9 graphic novels in development. Of course, I don't want you to miss those. I want you to be here so that you know when these come out, so you can, of course, grab these projects. If you want to support something right now, and of course, pick up our books. It helps us tremendously. You can get our books in our online bookstore. I've got all of my graphic novels here. While, again, a lot of the industry's just been focused on collectability and these different variant covers and the like, I'm focused on gathering readers. Readers is what's important. People who actually read the books, and that is exactly what we've been trying to cultivate and promote over here. So grab one of these. There's a little something for everybody. Just check out what you like, and then hopefully you'll check out the other stuff because you'll see how competently done we've done this. And that's the way we do things over here. It's pretty fun. It's pretty awesome. Our artists are amazing people. You've got a great team over here and a great community as well. I appreciate you for being here, and thank you guys for signing up and picking up the books. All right. On the other side of things, Rob Liefeld is no stranger to courting controversy. He's been attacking Marvel Comics for a while. He's pissed at them with what's going on, and we know that they've been in dire straits. So this came back all the way back in 2019. He's been fighting them his entire career, off and on. Sometimes he goes back to Marvel Comics. Sometimes he just hates them. This was one in 2019. He says he has a good long talk with his attorney. Time to hold some feet to the fire, some shady practices over at Marvel. Good times to come, and he tagged Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, about this. Pretty interesting on that level. Then he says, for clarification, when I say Marvel, I'm not talking the West Coast Cinematic branch. New York, as referenced here in the 2015 Hollywood Reporter. Now, this New York is, of course, the comic book element of things, because he is the co-creator of Deadpool. He's done a bunch for the company. He knows, he brags about it all the time, that when he was doing things, he was selling millions, and now they're selling tens of thousands. So there's obviously something wrong going on at these companies, and they don't care about things. Now, earlier this year, he went further and started actually just fighting with the cinematic version because apparently they treated him badly at the premiere. And now, yesterday, he made this tweet right here saying, the guys at the top of the executive suite and publishing have to go. Buckley, Bogart, Gabriel, these guys have no new moves. They are spent and tired, and it shows. Start over. My career has been across 7 editors-in-chiefs, seen it done way better by brighter and more focused minds. Now, this is pretty interesting right here because these are executives. These are not the creative talent. And so a lot of the problem that's sat at the top of Marvel has come from the creative side. I wouldn't say that they're like publishing branch and like what they need to do like for like different formats and all that. I don't think they're having problems there. In fact, some of these guys have actually done a pretty good job keeping Marvel alive by publishing in different formats and the like, while the creative side of thing has been causing a problem. Dan Buckley's the president of Marvel Entertainment since 2017. He runs TV, publishing, and brand management, and that brand's been selling a lot of stuff despite all of this stuff. I mean, you're talking T-shirts to Target and the like is what this guy does. This is, again, not sure why this guy's being talked about on this. Now, Bogart's the same thing, vice president of operations and procurement. So he's procuring like supplies and things like that. And of course, operations like printing and things like that. again, I don't understand like where this guy fits into things. And David Gabriel's the next one. David Gabriel's in sales administration and publishing. And what David Gabriel's really overseen over the last few years is something that kept Marvel alive again. The omnibuses, the Marvel Epic Collection project, that's all been under David Gabriel, who's like really pushed those going. And of course, there was a new Marvel reprint of smaller digest versions that are much cheaper to get into of the classic stories that have sold like hotcakes too. I can't remember the name of them, but that's what they've been doing. And of course, that's been keeping the company afloat while their actual, single issues, the old stuff, the old guard comic shop model stuff has been failing. And that's not really much to do with these guys. So I don't know why he's targeting these guys specifically on this when there's other people that need to be held accountable. C.B. Cebulski, the editor-in-chief, who's been pushing, this anti-Trump agenda with One World Under Doom in the new event. I mean, obviously, people don't want to read about that. Who's been pushing all the gay X-Men stuff from the Dazzler deal that they just came out with to Exceptional X-Men with Eve Ewing, who's been doing just like complete terrible identity politics with an X-Men book that's just been atrocious, to hiring people like Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, some of the worst writers in the business, to do things over and over and over again. That really comes from the editorial side, which is who he should have been targeting here, not the production side. They just produce the stuff that editorial hands them, right? Then we've also got Tom Brevoort. Tom Brevoort's a guy who's been running the X offices as an editor there and has just been making wildly controversial comments, just attacking fans about, calling them a bunch of names. He's called them, cretins. He's called us that. He's just because we don't want our politics in your extreme left-wing politics in X-Men books. And it's like, and on top of this, he goes off on fans who want the Spider-Man marriage back. I mean, the guy's just a train wreck right there. Moreover, I've heard some things that within the industry, people don't want to work with him. He's not good to work for as an editor as well. The talent does not want to come to him, and he struggles to find good talent because he's such a terrible person to work for. You remove these elements and then put people who are competent in there, you get a big different thing. And these guys who are just running the publishing are not going to be, having a difference. I'm not even sure what Rob Liefeld would want done on that front. Interesting stuff on that level. So this is what Liefeld said also. Man, I can't make folks go on the record, and this is separate from these guys again, but I can tell you based on my DMs, the comic book professionals en masse agree about the train wreck the X-Men office is. SAD was once the gold standard of comic book storytelling. This is exactly what I've heard from people within Marvel Comics as well who have spoken to me. I've been reporting on it for a few months now about just how bad it is over there, and I've been completely ignored. Tom Brevoort will not listen because he is just dug in, entrenched with his heels firmly planted, and he's going to just go down with the ship rather than actually try to write things here. And it's so ridiculous. These people's egos are far more important to them than actually making and producing good comics. Now, there's a massive problem that Marvel Comics is never going to be able to of course, obtain and change at this point. It's that there's no stakes for any of these characters ever anymore. There's really not, because they can die next issue, and they'll be back the issue after that. Their relationship can break up. They can be back together. They can have alternate universes where they're together with another, man or whatever. It's like this is crazy what they've done, and they've just made this whole multiverse slop where there's no continuity, which means that the characters never progress, never go anywhere, and because of that, you've got just a recipe for just pointless storytelling. It just can't work in that environment. You add then the extreme leftist identity politics on top of it, and you've got something that's completely unreadable that never goes anywhere. And that's exactly why we're doing alternatives, guys. I keep stressing that because it's so important to get off of the I'm going to collect every issue of Amazing Spider-Man. And actually start just buying indie stuff that you like to read. Because again, it's very easy. I have characters that progress. When the stakes happen, when people are getting in danger, it actually matters because there's not going to be some retcon next week by another writer who just pretended it didn't exist. Sometimes they don't even reference it, right? It's a big problem that's happening here. Now, he ran a podcast as well, and he's saying there's 5 fixes before it's too late about the X-Men in Crisis. This is a relaunch already, and this is really where it's at. If you don't know, the X-Men relaunched all of their books about a year ago, and they did it in tandem. They've already canceled a bunch of them. A bunch more are in massive trouble. The line is not selling. It's not going anywhere, and they're having big problems because they've just put terrible talent on these things who are trying to push this woke agenda again without really allowing the characters to develop or anything like that. A lot of it's, Even the ones that are not all that political are pretty much rehashes of things we've seen before. So they need to allow the characters to progress, or it's never going to work, is what it comes down to. They need to fire Tom Brevoort right away. That guy is the biggest train wreck in all of comics, and he's really ruined the X-Men more than the Krakoa era, which is absolutely crazy to think about because it was already in dire straits at that point. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of Liefeld's comments? Do you blame these guys in the publishing end of things, or is it more Brevoort and C.B. Cebulski to blame for hiring these terrible woke activists out there? Please sign up for my newsletter. Get in on this, guys. We have a bunch of graphic novels. Like I said, this is the real deal where we're building. You have found the right spot. We're going to be competing, and we're going to be just doing amazing things, and it needs your support, frankly. That's going to be that. So these are a bunch of the comics that are out already. Please check them out, guys. Support our channel. We'll be back soon.